What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good, you?
Overhands, uppercuts. Just taking it, guys. If you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post some current news for the VV platform on the channel. You can also become a superstar VIP. $2.99 a month. We did the giveaways for last month. Yesterday, we're going to do another set of them at the end of September. So if you want to get into that. Also, Star in the Universe. Superstar Steve. His dream was made reality yesterday. Ended up winning the spin of the wheel. He's getting a star in the universe. He was waiting. He was one of the people who said, do not get rid of this giveaway. I need my star. And he got it. So shout out to Superstar Steve. The Spirit Ambassador. Couldn't be happier for you.
He's actually a big reason why we didn't get rid of it, because we were thinking like we can give away actual digital collectibles now. Back when we started this, there wasn't much to give away. So we did this. And I'm starting to think maybe it's better we use those funds to do actual digital collectibles. And Steve's like, no, I need this star. And he finally got it. So we have to
like $40, those stars. I mean, the certificate and all that stuff. It's a cool experience. Like you get a little code and it tells you type it on the website. You go on like a NASA website or something like that. You can type in the code, it shoots in and it shows you your star and it says the name and everything. It's actually pretty sick, but still, incredible. Follow us next. Follow us on Instagram. Join the Discord. Discord is where it is happening. There's lots of Discord channels popping up all out there. Definitely recommend you go on to check out all community members' Discords. It's a lot of fun out there. A lot of people doing different things and having different chats. Ours is no exception. We have one where we pride ourselves in being like the hub of Web3, where all projects in this space can come and join, and people who like all of them can come and talk about what they like, what they don't like, and what they think each project can benefit from. One thing, though, that we do have to talk about today is if we have to take Veve off of that Discord. Is Veve going to be removed from our Discord because they are becoming more and more not Web3 and becoming more and more centralized? Rob, what do you think about this? I'm going to bring up the tweet here and then maybe we can read it.
Okay, so I'm just going to say, first of all, there's a reason for this. When I first heard this, I kind of said, really, we got to dig a little bit deeper. What's going on here? We still don't have the full information, but there's reports right now coming from one of our favorite websites called NFT Tracker that they no longer have the ability to read the data and the API from Veve. So it says here, as many of you have already noticed, price updates on my NFT tracker have stopped working. Sadly, we have the same problem at Veve Vault, Veve Value or Vault Value app. Since we started in the middle of 2021, my NFT tracker grew from a personal pet project to the great community it is today, with prominent revisiting users such as the following and a lot more. It was always our passion to implement new and desired features, especially for the German users and the tax system. We would love to continue working on the project, but to do that, we also need to have access to the Veve data. Since this worked out for Vault Value app, we've had some hope left to reach out to the right people at Veve Official. Mitch, David, you, My Collectibles, thank you for the support, feedback, and ideas. Now, Joe, before I let you get back in here, I read this and I'm like, these guys were doing a huge service for the Veve community. They had one of the best running apps anywhere, one of the best running websites anywhere to actually mine through this data. And it's now shut down. Why is Veve doing this? What do you think, Joe?
I mean, this isn't the first time that we've seen this, but it is like a mass exodus right here of these types of websites. Early on, we know that the go-to app was ecomi Wiki. Omi the Clown set that up, did a great job. Even started bringing in tools to make it almost like a trading view for digital collectibles. It made it a fun experience to go check their website, look at what the price action was like, and just have a good time and have some fun. And that got shut down because of, I think, issues probably getting certain data that they wanted. And I think it just something that didn't work out. Then we see my NFT tracker become, I say this was the #1 app that people were using. I seen it the most on different YouTube channels. I also used it the most. If I was looking to buy a collectible, I wanted to see, okay, what was the all-time low? They had amazing sorting features, amazing data, amazing charts. And maybe that was something that Veve didn't want out there. I'm not too sure. But I don't understand why. I don't understand why we're taking away user experience here. I kind of understand why now, because we see what's happening with the Stacker app. We understand that people are getting kind of funneled into Stacker only to use Stacker, which I think is kind of not the whole point of this space, of the whole point of Web3. I think that Web3 is meant where everybody builds on top of each other and everybody helps each other to grow the space. And now we're kind of isolating into one app, one application, and it might not be everybody's cup of tea, that individual application, though it could be a great application. You can have lots of different things. People are used to certain things. Now, there's somebody who was checking my NFT tracker every day, probably. I'm sure there were people out there. I'm sure some of you do it. And now they cannot do that. Maybe that turns them off from even checking the Veve app anymore, because they're like, well, now I can't look at the data the way I wanted to look at it. I have to do it this way, and I don't really like doing it that way. I struggle to see the benefit in shutting down user-based projects, especially when the user base in general has been shrinking.
Look, it's not just NFT tracker, it's VVX tracker as well. Shout out Veve Fox. We've relied on this data for quite some time to create arguments about the growth of Veve not being very much. And this could be another reason why they want to shut down data. With less data, with no data, it becomes very difficult to make statements. We can't make statements about the effectiveness of what Veve is doing as it relates to growth and new users if we don't have the data to back up our opinion. Even Veve Fox, who set up this wonderful website, is now she's off the table. Like, you can't, like, this website, if you go to, I think it was August 29th was the last day. If you come in here, I just filtered September 2nd to the 8th, and it's all blanks. It's nothing. Look at this. It's nothing. It's dead. So what's going on here? I think it has to do Stacker for sure. I think Veve's made a deal with Stacker. I think Stacker is going to become all of this. And they're going to force everybody to that one platform because they must have some kind of deal with Dr. Profit to help continue their control over that platform in some capacity as it relates to Veve stuff. I know Dr. Profit wants to do multiple projects, but as it comes to Veve stuff, it's much easier for the Veve team to deal with just one provider of this data than multiple. Let them do Omi NFT. Let them be the third-party marketplace. Let them also be the place where everybody can see data. Veve knows that if they only have to deal with one individual, it's a lot easier than having to deal with 5 different websites that are all just scraping it. But that's the true character of Web3, right? It's allowing the people as NFTs, to allowing the different dApps to exist. And, you know, the NFT basically is kind of like your game cartridge, where if you own that NFT, you can get access to different places to play a specific game, for example, or you can get access to different things. And you could still kind of do that with Veve NFTs when there's a third-party marketplace. But the fact that they're going to consolidate even the data and they're not going to allow, you know, Flow blockchain, for example, as long as you're a smart miner, like Diamond, for example, you could read that blockchain. Immutable X, I don't know much about Immutable X, but it seems like everybody has trouble reading it. Like, it's like made in such a way that, like, people are not able to get the data the same way as if they were able to link directly to Veve, because Veve has all the, I guess, more data when it comes to this information, or it's just easier to scrape whatever API they had access to. It was just easier to do that than to scrape from Immutable X. I don't know how Immutable X works. If you guys are tech savvy, let me know in the comments below why these websites couldn't just go to that instead of this API. I'm curious.
I mean, we're taking away content, we're taking away data now, we're taking away things just because maybe we don't like what people talk about it, and we don't want that to be public information. Cool. You want to keep all the data inside in-house. It was just something that I think a big portion of the community who's still here actually enjoyed the marketplace because of it. I think forcing people to use a product that they don't want to use, even though it might be a great, like we have nothing against Stacker or Dr. Profit. I think that he's doing great things for Veve. I think that he has a unique proposition over there because he has the Omi to NFT, probably going to have the interoperability for the collectibles over there. So he has the draw. Like, people will go there. People are going to go there if they need to use those features. Why take away people's joy from collecting and joy from chasing things and looking up their data the way they want to look it up? Like, I go to fill up my gas. If I want to go to 7-Eleven to fill up my gas, Don't tell me I have to go to Racetrack or Exxon to fill up my gas. I'm going to go where I want to go to fill up my gas. If you're forcing me to go to a different gas station, then it's just like something, imagine it's like out of my way. It's something that I don't like the cashier there. Maybe I don't like the way I have to enter into that parking lot. Like there's ways. And that's why in the real world, it works to have a system of different companies and different things to get your data, get your information from, because not everybody likes the same things. Everybody has a different taste. And I think Veve should be the number one to understand that. With all of the IP they have on their platform, they know that people like different IP. That's why they have all of this different IP, because they have something for everybody. But when it comes to data and people trying to understand what they want to buy based off of previous trends, now they're not going to have that type of information, it seems, unless you get hand selected, like the claw from Toy Story. The claw, and you get hand selected, and you get to go to the chosen land, and you come into the inner circle, and you continue to play the favorite game that people do not like to see. It's just disappointing to see, especially my NFT tracker, which I think was the biggest source of data. Like now, okay, you think because you shut them down, now everybody's going to go run over to a new app. I don't think it works like that.
I think if you want to shut them down, maybe they should do what we've talked about a long time ago, and I think this would be a completely different conversation. If Veve provided this data in-house, they have a web app. If all of these guys can build websites that do this stuff with great search engines, by the way, why can't Veve do that? Why can't you log into the Veve app and have that same kind of data that these other third-party apps are providing? They're here and they exist because the core Veve website and the core Veve app does not provide the data that is sufficient for what information the community wants to have. So by shutting them down, if you're not going to provide it, at least you can say, look, we have an API, you guys can go make what you want. Now even that got shut down. So I really hope when Stacker comes in, they at a minimum still provide what NFT Tracker and VVX Tracker, what they were doing. All the hard work that they put into their projects, have just like that, they're done.
They weren't even monetized, I don't think. She has a support me on coffee here, like if you want to help her out, but she wasn't making any money from it. And then same thing with my NFT tracker. I think they had a membership, but you didn't need to use it to get the data that you needed. So like it's just like a complete shutdown for purpose of bringing people into a certain direction. And I don't think that's the right way. I love the way that they're going with the interoperability with the Omen NFT. They're finally delivering on that stuff because Dr. Profits allowed for it to happen. But I don't think that this is the way to force people to go into a certain way, because people do not like being forced. Like I don't like being forced to do things the way that you tell me to do them. I want to do things the way that I choose. I'm going to look at a bunch of different things. Like I'm going to look at cars. I'm going to go buy a car. I look at all the different car options, and then I pick the car I want. I don't just buy a car because that's the only one that exists.
It's not just that. We pride ourselves on being a data-driven channel. And because we know that when you lack data and you lack understanding, and you likely are going to have to take someone's trust me bro for it a lot more often than the verification of data to support it.
That's true.
And, Veve's experienced a lot of fighting and for a lot of different reasons. We've done a lot of different videos about this. People are very interested in the NFT aspect of this. We know people are very interested in the financial aspect of this. There's very few people, I think, that are truly interested in just collecting anything digital. I think a lot of people were here for that investing aspect, which is why they cared about this data so much. So if you kill that you kind of kill that community. And at the same time, that community really doesn't have information anymore, where they're going to have to just go off of what they're told. And we've seen how that's gone over the years. If you just go off guidance that you're being told of, we're going to do this or that, and then we see what ends up happening in the future. So I think that killing the data, the third-party apps, is a terrible idea. I think Veve needs to figure out a way to still allow third parties to do this stuff. Don't just make agreements with Stacker. Open up the door a little bit if you can. We know Ecomi Wiki basically died because of that. And I don't know if there's a revenue sharing program, maybe if they're making money off of this stuff. If you guys want something like that, I'm sure there's a better way than just completely shutting it down. But you guys can go ahead, Joe.
The community is full of so many geniuses. Like there's a bunch of smart, great minds in this community. that are capable of big things, maybe bigger than some things that the team could do themselves. We see it already with Dr. Profit carrying the torch, carrying the load for a couple features that Veve was unable to deliver without him doing that. So, I mean, what else would there be if you were to allow the users to help create some excitement in the space? I know that I loved going to my NFT tracker. We loved going to Veve X tracker, and it made the collecting experience more enjoyable. Even if we didn't enjoy some things that were happening with the app and all that stuff, it's just another thing that we could go and make decisions based off of, because it just gave us ideas and strategies and all this fun stuff where we didn't have to depend on a tweet of some spicy peppers or other random tweets that have led to a lot of people being burned on the app in the long term, like Rob said. So hopefully there's some change in direction on this, and we understand that the community's value is a little bit higher than what it is. But if there isn't, I also won't be shocked.
So let us know, guys. What do you guys think about this? Let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think about this? If you haven't already, also don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, enjoy the subscribe, hit the bell to get every single video every single day. And please, in the comments below, let us know what you guys think about becoming way more Web 2, becoming way more centralized. We want to hear your thoughts. Thank you to all our VIPs. Appreciate you guys all. Take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.